G'day and welcome back to Digger Gaming. Today we're going to be having a look at the Regional Force Surveillance Units. Pretty unique unit to the Australian Army. You'll see why. It's predominantly Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders that offer their expertise when it comes to tracking and stuff like that. There's 3 units, so we'll go over what RFSU does as a whole, and then each individual unit there's a video that I have for. And there might be a little bit more just random footage. Yeah, hopefully it's a good insight. I think it's pretty cool, and we need to get the word out about these guys. So without any further ado, let's have a look.
Alrighty, so we've got our first video on the Army Regional Force Surveillance Group as a whole. Let's have a look.
It's all passed down to us. The plants, the animals, where we live.
We are classed as warriors, and we've always had a care of country.
We see bush, it's like walking in a library. It's just like you read the book, we read the land.
See, already you can tell why it would be so helpful to have some Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders tracking and stuff. They know the land very well, food, how to get water, all that sort of stuff. A lot of knowledge that they bring to the military, in my opinion anyway.
We're out there looking after our country, undertaking border protection work. We'll see things that are out of place and we'll report on those.
It's a large Indigenous community and non-Indigenous community. It works with regular and full-time staff.
Once the green skin goes on, that's it. Your family for life.
100%, and that's regardless of race, skin colour. You can already see some of the cool vehicles these guys get to use. Basically LRPVs, ribs, boats. Yeah, they've got a very wide range of tasks. I never got to work with these guys, but always wanted to.
I've got 2 young daughters. They keep asking me, can I please stay long enough for them to join?
Pride,
Cool footage.
confidence, self-esteem. You take that back home to your family and then the whole community. And this is where our kinship comes into it. That's how we pass it down. Care for the country and protect this country.
So these are the regiments we're going to go over. Alright, so as you saw, the RFSU has 3 different units which operate in different parts of remote Australia. We're going to take a look at Norforce now, and we'll have a look at the map if they don't show us where they operate exactly at the end of the video.
Land, it's our mother nature. We see bush, it's like walking in a library. It's just like you read the book, we read the land. I can name you any stream, river, beach, rock, flowers. You walk with me, I'll talk you through.
That knowledge would be incredible to have.
And this is where our kinship comes into it. That we look after the land that we're living in. Care for the country and also to protect this country.
Connection to the land is, I think, your heart, mind and soul. Working with the soldiers up here, being adopted by them guys as brothers.
That's huge. So you can see here, this is where they borrowed a lot of their stuff from the SASR, their long-range patrols. They have the same vehicles. They use boat. They've got a water troop. They've got so they've got lots of good gear. As you can see, the budget. They've got a pretty good budget by the looks of things. They've all got new gear, the new weapons and stuff. One of the reasons why I wanted to work with these guys, but yeah, never got the chance to. They also do TSE. Sometimes they'll get on the Navy ships and help do boardings. So yeah.
Norforce protects a lot of the Australian top of the borders, has a large Indigenous community and non-Indigenous community, does recon and surveillance, works with regular and full-time staff.
I wear 3 hats. One hat I wear is my culture. The other hat I'm wearing is I work for government. The other hat I'm wearing, I work for army.
It's a good way of looking at things.
In the job, I think it's very important that you're always learning and teaching, working together as a unit. It's that mateship and camaraderie.
Good video.
Having that respect and joining the Defence Force and Norforce, it's a great honour.
We are classed as warriors, and we've always had that.
You don't usually see this kind of stuff with reserve units, which is cool. The Apaches in the back there as well.
Care of country.
Beautiful country.
You meet mates, and you end up being mates for the rest of your life. Inside the community and as well as outside the community. Once the green skin goes on, that's it. Your family for life.
Guys, so now we're looking at the 51st Battalion, the Far North Queensland Regiment. Bit more history with these guys. They go back a little bit further than some of the other battalions, but yeah.
I know plenty of tracks up in where I come from. Yeah, I just don't get lost at bush. Yeah. I know which fruit and which animals I can feed off.
Yeah.
And I can live off the land.
So just even that in itself is huge. That means they can live off the land almost indefinitely. Obviously they'd want rations and stuff, but yeah, with the knowledge and skills that the Indigenous people have applied to the military and this job in particular, I think it's a perfect fit. So same role, just different AOs. And protect from drug smugglers, people smugglers, near-peer threats, all that sort of stuff.
My job, we go at bush and or at islands to protect the borders, cam ourselves up and trying to be invisible from others seeing us.
That's cool. Cool observation post there.
When it first started, it was with 2 brothers, Norman and Charlie.
That's cool too. I wanted to do this video because Aboriginal Torres Strait Islanders just didn't get the recognition in a lot of wars and conflicts. And I think this unit's really unique and good for the community, obviously good for the country. Yeah.
Baird, they had actually enlisted. So 5 generations later, we followed in their footsteps. And I guess for us, it was reconnecting with their songline with 51st Battalion.
I would have loved to go and done one of these patrols.
I saw my 2 great-grandfathers fought in World War I. I look like Really good role model. Just wanted them to see me like in the green.
When the other kids see him, the kids rush up to him.
Yeah, it's awesome.
When I look at that, it makes me happier.
Personally, I get a sense of pride. I get a sense of purpose as well, that I know that what I'm doing.
You can see too, it's a bit off topic, but all the equipment and vehicles they use, they'd have to have a pretty solid foundation of the basics, because they go into some long range patrol stuff, which is quite a unique set of skills.
Is to protect our way of life, our community, to protect your culture.
So you can see that they've got the old Land 125 webbing, not the newest, but it's still pretty decent webbing, chest harness, and they've got the new EF88s.
In the army, it's like a family. Friendship, respect. You get this type of vibe where you're loving every moment of this, and it's good.
Good patrols.
On Anzac Day, I marched it in front of my families.
Awesome.
I felt really proud of myself. It's rained that afternoon. So I was thinking in my head, it was my two great-grandfathers was crying up there for me.
Going to throw it out there. These soldiers, I believe, would have been a great help on my Solomon Islands deployment and East Timor. Just their knowledge of the jungle and stuff like that. We could have been out for a lot longer. Not that they speak the same language and they're not the same sort of culture or anything, but I believe, they would have been a massive help. To do even boat insertions and stuff, you had to rely on the Navy.
Men and women wants to join. If I can do it, you can do it.
Awesome. Always on. Alrighty guys, so having a look at the Pilbara Regiment now. Same thing, just different area of operations.
You can look to the horizon and you will see no signs of civilization. Once you get to know it, you know that it's not so empty. You start to understand the flora and fauna, the people, the geology. I feel like the red dust has gotten into my bloodstream and now the Pilbara is part of me.
Yeah, that red dust gets everywhere. So it's not entirely an Indigenous unit.
I'm proud to be out there as a Regional Force Surveillance soldier.
There we go, LRPV.
We're out there looking after our country, undertaking border protection work.
Huge range of skills that they're showing here.
Nowhere else like Australia. Some of the areas that we do go into, being so remote, it's key to be always be mindful of where you are, and to still have that respect.
Because we know our area of operations, we'll see things that are out of place and we'll report on those.
The army is like a second family. It gives you all those things you need to go out and do your job. It gives you life skills.
Good drills.
You make friendships that you never would anywhere else.
I was hearing reports about illegal fishing happening. I'm a conservationist at heart.
That's awesome.
Joining a Regional Force Surveillance unit was a way for me to do something about that.
Didn't even think about that, but that would be it would be pretty rewarding actually going out as a reserve unit and deploying regularly on border operations. It'd be, yeah.
One thing I was mainly surprised about was the sheer vastness of Australia, and I didn't realise that we'd go as far and do a lot of the things that we do. It's nice to go on the adventures and interact with the other communities.
Yeah, kids love that stuff.
My wife actually grew up in the Pilbara, and she's quite proud that I'm defending the land that she loves. I've got 2 young daughters. They keep asking me, can I please stay long enough for them to join and they can be in the Pilbara Regiment with me.
That's cool. Into Wanta. Always alert. Alrighty guys, so I've just got one last video. It's not a defence video, but it's a short one of 51 for North Queensland Regiment doing their thing. So I thought I'd chuck it in.
The 51st Far North Queensland Regiment covers the mainland and offshore islands of Cape York, the Gulf of Carpentaria and the Torres Strait Islands. The Torres Strait, which shares its border with Papua New Guinea and Indonesia, is the unit's highest priority. About 30% of the Far North Queensland Regiment's soldiers are Indigenous Australians. Soldiers with local knowledge, background and skills are acknowledged as essential to the achievement of each unit's mission. A platoon based in Cairns conducts patrols. Despite the holiday setting, it's neither an easy nor a comfortable task. Slogging it out through close country from anywhere up to 40 kilometres a day to get to an observation post. On extended patrols, the platoon can expect to be pushed at this pace for more than 10 days.
Alrighty guys, so as promised, here is the area of operations for the different units. 51 Far North Queensland has Far North Queensland and the Torres Strait Islands. Norforce, which covers the most, I think it covers the most area of any military unit in the world, I think. They've got Northern Territory and the Kimberleys, so desert and rainforest, and then the Pilbara Regiment, which is predominantly Western Australia off the coast. They would have probably had something to do with that Chinese boat that was off the coast, do all that sort of recon stuff. But yeah, a cool unit. They've got cool gear. Definitely something I would missed out on being able to do. But yeah, typically they stick to their own. They are an infantry regiment, but they do mostly reconnaissance, as we saw. And I don't think that they've been deployed overseas. I think they're all deployed all the time in Australia. But yeah, what do you guys think? I think they're pretty cool, pretty unique skill set to draw upon as well. Until next time, see you later.